Okay, I'm standing on the steps of Ali Beg Gurdwara. Kirtangarh is also a name used, which you can find on Google Maps. And I came here, I recall on the 18th of April 2015, and I made quite an extensive set of videos here. And the condition that I saw in 2015, what I'm seeing today is actually a lot worse. And this place has a lot of history. I mean, 1940 is around the year when this was built, and when it would have been built, there wouldn't have been many other buildings in this area as we see now. So it would easily have been the most prominent place in the whole territory. And as I say, a lot of the tiles here inside, you could see that the people who laid the foundation stones, Salam Karai is a term which has been used to write the names of the people who donated whatever amount towards the building of this Gurdwara. And this Gurdwara, post-1947, initially started out as a refugee camp where a lot of Hindus and Sikhs who were escaping from persecution and other various forms of atrocities in places like Mirpur and other areas of what is today AJK, they would have been camped here or kept here until such a time when they would have been transported across to either India proper or towards Jammu Kashmir. Now this remains so. It so happens that my own mother, was born here in this camp, and this is what connects Ali Beg Gurdwara in district Bhimber, Tehsil Bhimber, to connects it to this place another 400 or so kilometers away to the north in Sharda, where my mother's name is also very similar sounding to the word Sharda. So this concept of religious places in Azad Jammu and Kashmir, this is what I consider to be the last refuge of human civilization, which remains intact in a sense. It's not intact in terms of the structures that you might see in Sharda or here or other prominent mandirs and gurdwaras throughout this territory. But because the state of affairs between India and Pakistan, this railway track, this parallel track which involves similar activities or similar postures on both sides, which has involved a lot of hate, a lot of acrimony, and a lot of use of religious identity for politics, is something which I, as an activist, as a researcher, as a stakeholder, as a co-owner of this territory, I want to avoid. And I've been working in Sharda for the past 10 years, and I've been working on various other mandirs and gurdwaras throughout this territory over time, and people can see my videos. So what I've noticed is that a lot of this close contact and people-to-people contact that we've had with our Sikh and Hindu brethren across the line, across Jammu and Kashmir, wherever they are, because I follow the concept of ownership, where the people of this territory, be they Muslim, be they Hindu or Sikh, it is for them to revitalize, to rehabilitate, to restructure these buildings. I mean, for example, the work that we done on Sharda, it enforced the Pakistanis to send a Hindu politician from Sindh to Sharda, so that it could create an avenue for Pakistanis to create economy for themselves, not for us, for themselves, and to use Sharda as a political football, if you like, whenever they feel against India, to try and show that from a propaganda point of view, that they are very open and they are very liberal, and the Indians are involved in human rights violations. With all propaganda, there's always some truth to it, but it's never the whole truth, and that's where lies the problem and the misconceptions. And not only have they used Ramesh Bangwani for that, they've used the Chief Secretary, the Lent officer of the Pakistanis, who nobody's asked for such a person or such an officer. And we've been trying very hard for many years through political agitation to make sure that the Pakistani role here is not only minimized, but over time is evaporated. But what we're seeing is that a few months ago, pre-corona era, the Chief Secretary and various other officers came here, and they've, for example, built some toilets. You can see behind there a couple of toilets, but the condition, as I say, it looks a lot worse, I would say, than the condition that I found this in, and you can see the video. I'll send you a link on YouTube. So this concept of ownership building measures, this is a way for us as Muslims and for the Hindus and Sikhs and Buddhists of this territory to keep this refuge or this concept of worshipping places intact and free from politics of the Indians and Pakistanis. This is a human endeavor, it's a civilizational endeavor, and that is why along this cycle track from Cham all the way to Sharda, I've gone out of my way from Jatana to come here, all the way here, and to spend a day here. This is what I want to explain, the concept of ownership building measures. I've asked the Pakistanis, I spoke to Ramesh Wangwani when he came to Sharda, and I explained to him that, look, please, for God's sake, do not try and play politics of this territory. This is not for Pakistanis to rehabilitate. It is for the Sikhs of this territory, as far as Ali Beg Gurdwara is concerned, to come and to restructure or do whatever is necessary from their religious point of view. And it's for us as Muslims in this territory to cooperate and do whatever is necessary for them to revitalize this place. And it's the same with Sharda. Thank you very much for listening to me. I hope everybody who's watching this video can get my gist. Ownership building measures, it is for the people of this territory to resume that civilizational endeavor which we've been deprived of since 1947. Thank you very much for watching.